Welcome to the CouncilCast.
Are you gonna play the tunes? Wow. Welcome to the CouncilCast. This is episode 291, being recorded on March 19th, 2024. The council is now in session, and as with every week, we will make arbitrary decisions about topics on science, technology, and random shit.
Random shit. Random shit.
It's a call and response. You're supposed to say it again.
I don't think we need to say it forever.
With little background and absolutely no expertise. All CouncilCast decisions are final and have no bearing on anything whatsoever.
That's as good as it gets. If you're listening with us for the first time, that's as good as it gets right there.
If you're listening for the first time, how the hell did you find this show?
Yeah.
We've
gone to
has
great
a gun to
lengths
your
to-
head? We're very sorry. We're very
We've worked
sorry.
very hard to keep people away from our show.
If this is the first time you're listening to this episode, why did you not listen to all 290 prior to this one first? Or maybe
This
you're
felt
listening in reverse.
Reverse order.
Reverse
yeah,
order.
yeah.
It just
I
gets
like to do that with
better.
I like to
maybe?
do that with podcasts so that the quality of the show deteriorates.
It's
However,
worse.
with ours, I think it does get better.
Exactly.
Why is this show falling off? Oh, you did it newest to oldest. Got it.
Well, something else that is new to see in the upcoming weeks is a new star in the sky.
Ooh.
Doesn't happen every day, but there will soon be a new star, although sort of new. The star actually has existed before. It's called T Coronae Borealis. Normally, it is actually really
More
dim that
corona
you just can't see it.
And
Yep.
what?
T Coronae Borealis.
Okay. Isn't that a
But
drink?
the star itself, it's actually like, I don't know if it's exploding or something. It's kind of like Four Loko. Actually, it will probably make you see as if you are drinking Four Loko. It'll be as bright as the star.
So wait, they're calling the star Four Loko, Corona, Ebola, virus.
It is
Ebola.
called the Coronavirus Beer Star.
Corona. What? So wait,
A star is born.
A star is born. How did I'm confused? Look, we're gonna see a new star soon. I don't understand.
Well, actually,
Well, so
I thought it was pretty cool that the article said that, was it 2,800 years ago this happened, and so now we're just seeing it because it's so far away?
yeah, it's actually so the reason that we're seeing it now, the star has always existed, but it has a nova outburst that occurred about 2,560 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Which we know
and
because we make up all kinds of crap in the science section of this show.
100% factual. It is the star itself is 2,560 light years away, so you can kind of work your way backwards there. That's how you kind of came up with that. But the apparently with this nova outburst, it is going to make the star actually as bright as the North Star. So you'll be able to see this with your naked eye. No, nothing. Starting anywhere between about now through
am I gonna be able-
September.
How am I gonna be able to navigate my boat across the ocean now when there's the North Star and the Corona Ebola star competing?
Well, it's only going to be
for the
visible for about a
northernmost
week.
hemisphere. Which week?
The week that it's visible.
I'm sailing that
Yeah,
week.
it says so it will be visible for a week, up to a week, with its brightest being the first day, gradually dimming. So yeah. So I mean,
Interesting.
unless you're navigating by starlight in the middle of the ocean and you just so happen to not know where the North Star is, and you're confused and think this is the right one, sucks to be you, I guess.
You got a 50-50 chance.
True.
Pick
Maybe
one of
you'll
the
end up in
brightest stars.
Australia, and maybe you'll end up in Russia. I don't know.
Oofda.
Maybe you'll
Talk about
find
your
the.
mistakes.
For a couple days later, you'll see that there's only one big bright star in the sky. So
I mean, most likely you won't arrive within that week, and you'll realize you made a terrible mistake.
Big mistake. Huge.
big mistake, huge.
But
Like saying
yeah,
without
that's.
any kind of ability to communicate or anything.
I'd say this is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna give this one a thumbs up for new stars. You don't see them happen all the time, so.
I wish I could have been around when they were naming the constellations because this would be a good one. They're probably doing it. Someone would be able to make a something out of one extra star. Yeah, I say thumbs up too. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Well, you know what, Brian?
I give
Maybe
it
you
a
could-
thumbs up.
Maybe you should make up your own constellation once you can see it, and then just be like, "Yep, I named a constellation, and you can't see it anymore."
You know, the only thing I can draw is stick people because I guarantee you that this
Call it
constellation
John
will
Cena.
be stick person.
Ba, ba, da, ba. Ba, ba, da, ba.
There you go. Well, something that doesn't require stick people to live is mosquitoes, which carry the ever popular Zika virus. But in a weird twist of fate, it turns out the Zika virus can actually cure brain cancer.
You know, little known fact, but the Zika
What?
virus was first tested on stick people.
Ah, there you go.
Human
Thanks for pulling
trials.
that together, Brian.
Look at all those eyeballs. And that one giant.
Those
Eye
aren't
socket.
eyeballs.
So wait, how did they figure this out? Did somebody with brain cancer accidentally get Zika, or were they just like, hey, you know what? You're headed out anyway. Let's stick you with everything we've got, including Zika
Yeah.
virus.
That's how they do it these days.
I'm assuming. So I actually have no idea because I did not read the article. So I'm gonna.
I skimmed it, and in a lab, they were screwing around, and they figured out that the Zika virus eats cancer cells.
Yeah, I mean,
Or
it's essentially
Then it eats
that
regular
is
cells.
essentially correct, and I think the reason they found it out is because basically Zika isn't necessarily a problem for adults, but it's really only a problem for pregnant women who give birth to children because it can result in congenital conditions, and like a smaller than normal head, for example.
Mhm.
So instead of shrinking the kids' heads, you get Zika, you just have a shrunken head kid. But the part of it is that they think that I'm guessing as they kind of figured out how that happened for kids, they basically figured out the Zika virus infects and kills neural stem cells in that developing fetus, and so that's where they're like, hey, what if we actually took this and just applied it to brain cancer cells? And turns out it likes eating brain cancer cells just as much as children brain cells, I guess.
Well, that's promising.
Mhm.
So
Fingers
yeah, they
crossed.
are currently theorizing that they could use it to basically
Wait, Zika's
fight
been
those
around since the
cancers.
1940s?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. The news
Yeah, we
made it
used to
seem
give
like
it to
just
each other.
showed up out of nowhere the other year.
Yeah, we used to give it to each
Yeah,
other
they
for
s-
Christmas back in the 40s.
Neat.
Yeah, there was like a couple of year period right before COVID where Zika was like the big thing, and then COVID kind of came around, and everyone's like, Zika, what's that?
Yeah. Don't worry, a couple years from now they'll be like, have you ever heard of Zika before?
You go, yeah.
Zika.
I like it with a little lime twist.
Num num.
Yum, num, num.
Well, that's cool. I like
Thumbs
this
up for
optimistic
Beating
science.
cancer.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I like solving cancer problems. It's a
We
good
didn't
idea.
even have Matt here to say thumbs up for space with that star story.
That's
I'm
true.
a little disappointed.
Yeah, it's about the only thing he ever says. Thumbs up for space.
He hasn't said it. in
I hope he's
years.
watching right now, and he just said it out loud. I'm hoping.
I'm sure
I'm
if he's
going
watching right
to-
now, he said something else out loud, and he said it to me.
Dun, 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 dun.
Perfect. Well, something that Matt might be playing with instead is Playtron, which is the new operating system for your handheld gaming device. Do you wish that you could turn any one of your devices into a handheld gaming device?
Always. Whenever I'm in front of the fridge, I'm like, man, I wish I could be gaming on this right now.
What's
Perfect.
that?
Well,
Handheld device.
Playtron has you covered.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, Playtron, which is creating a system-level OS, basically similar to like what Steam OS does for the Steam Deck. They're basically trying to create a universal operating system that you can put on anything and allow you to basically run an operating system that plays games on any
Will it
handheld.
play
Cheaper than Windows, easier to
Doom?
do than Windows, but more open than what Steam is. And yes, I can only imagine it plays Doom.
Doom. Can it play Doom? But can it look like it's Doom being played on a Raspberry Pi, whatever that means? You know, it's probably been 50 episodes since we talked about Raspberry Pis, and I don't understand why we stopped doing it. I mean, it's like every other week we were talking about something. Tesla using a Raspberry Pi to run the entire car. I mean, it was just crazy. Every week it was something new.
So, didn't we say that you could play Doom on skin cells or something?
You can, Doom is such a
Sure.
sucky game. You can play it on anything. It can be run by a potato.
It was some biological computer or something.
I don't remember. Yeah. Yeah, I would be I would be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised if somebody was figure out a way to play Doom like with a tattoo or something like that.
You just watch it and you can push, right? Boop, boop.
Yeah, you can push
Doom.
buttons on your arm and yeah, I think that would work.
Speaking of past episodes, I believe that Silas sent out some information from last week showing that micro water energy
The micro turbine.
micro
work?
turbines were actually
Oh
quite a
yeah,
source
so
of
I
energy.
did more. I did more research on it, and it was.
Micro turbines.
Oh, I gotta stop this.
Mystery.
The microturbines, they are like actively in use right now, and it's a thing that's actually happening, but it's happening at the water plants that they've hooked these up, and it generates electricity mostly just to power the plant and a couple of other close by facilities. So like it's not creating enough hydroelectricity to like power the whole city or anything like that. It's not like the Hoover Dam.
Oh no! So I hooked
where
one of
it's-
these micro generators up to my sink, and then I left the water on for like a week, and it
Yeah.
powered my alarm clock for like half a day. So it's got real
Wow.
promising. No,
No, but really, it is a real thing that they have been using at power plant at water treatment plants to help produce additional electricity to offset their costs, essentially.
well, yeah, but they have a ready supply of water. So
They do
Flowing.
They're running it all the time.
literally all the time, and they have enough. It produces enough electricity, I think, to power the plant for the most part. And they're looking at getting into more plants across the United States. I think most of them are in Oregon or something like that.
that's pretty incredible.
So it's, you know,
I say thumbs up for handheld devices that can play Fortnite and control
Doom.
power plants or whatever we were talking about.
so it can power Doom. As long as it plays Doom, I'll give it 2 thumbs up.
Can power micro whatever.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a thumbs down for controversy here, just to show that, I think these guys need to have something that's more than just an operating system that can run more than just Doom. I want to see it run something else.
Yeah.
If they show it running Doom as the first thing, I'm going to throw it out the window. That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
But something you probably aren't going to be playing Doom on in the near future is the TSA's new self-checkout lines at the airport.
Okay.
Would you like to use a self-checkout to go through the TSA?
Yeah.
Well,
it just depends on how
I've done it
well
before.
versed I'm at. No, you haven't.
Yeah.
How have you done
what?
that?
Oh, did you use it when you were in Vegas?
No, we didn't use it in Vegas, but they've had
Is they
this
had
is
it in
to
Europe
get
or something?
pre-checked flyers. We've had similar we've tested this in certain airports that we've flown into in the past where they had like you do the stuff and then you just get, well, you know what? No, it was a pre-check thing, and then you got to go into a short line, so you were still interacting with a human.
See,
Never mind.
and this you scan your thing and it goes, "Oh, hi Brian. Now pick up the wand and check yourself for any sharp objects or guns or explosives." And you go, whoop 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 whoop, and then you go, and then it says, "Run your luggage through," and then it goes, "Identify this what are those jokes they talk
Wait, is
about?
this Roy Kent?
No. Identify
It's Roy Kent.
no. Identify that thing in your suitcase that looks like a hair
I
dryer.
see it now.
That looks like a hair dryer with a scope on it.
What is this?
Is that-
a bowling ball candle? That's
Yeah,
fine.
bowling
Just keep
ball
the line
candle.
moving.
So then you look at the X-ray yourself and you tap the items and go, no, that's not a gun and that's not a bowling ball candle, and then you just move along. It sounds horrible. I think this sounds like a really bad idea.
The reason I ask
think
is because apparently they did install these at the Las Vegas airport. So, as of 2 weeks ago.
The safest place on the planet.
But yeah, apparently the whole idea. I guess I'm not exactly sure I'm understanding how this is really going to benefit things, because basically it looks exactly like the current system they have today. They've just replaced an actual person with a video monitor, and they're basically saying like you do, honestly, kind of like Brian is saying, you scan your ID or badge or whatever, and you kind of lets you through, and then you just take your stuff, throw it on the belt, walk through the scanners. And if you have a question, you push a button and like somebody will video call you basically on the monitor and be like, "What do you need?" And I guess I don't understand.
Is this a hair dryer with a scope on it?
Exactly.
No. All right, great.
No. It's all good.
You're
It's all
free
good.
to go.
But look, this picture right here, the Roy Kent video that I was just showing here.
Yeah, that does look like Roy Kent.
Now, actually, scroll up to the one that's at the top of the article.
Look here. Look.
There's still
There's
a person
right here. And he's like, okay, my job is to.
His job is to
Pretend
wait
like
for the
a-
machine to tell him cavity search time.
It's it's exactly like when Ryan on The Office wanted the entire office to count all of their sales that they made as if the computer made them. He's standing there going, okay, I have to pretend like a computer is checking people through TSA, even though I'm the one doing it.
Well, and then you check the box. It says cavity search, and then you're like, what are we doing? Oh, you checked it when you went through the little screen over there a minute ago. I did not. I
Whoopsies.
don't want. Whoopsies. Too bad.
I like how, so basically the TSA says that this self-service prototype allows our trusted travelers to complete the screening process at their own pace. Just what I want. People who are going to slow down the security line.
You know it's going to be terrible because
Oh, yeah,
you're
100%.
going to get people who are not computer literate who are going to show up and be like, it's not working for me. And especially in Vegas, you're going to get people who show up who are super drunk and like, this computer's stupid. Can't make it work.
I don't mind there being a line like that, as long as, like at a
As
grocery
long as
store.
It's not my line.
No, as long as you can choose. I'm going to walk down to the self-check line, or I'm going to go through with these grumpy people that make me feel like I'm the dumbest person on the planet. The TSA people will make you feel stupid, and you're like, phew, you're right through. put your arms up. No, put your arms down. Why'd you put your arms up? You told me to. Just get over here. All right, get out of here. And you're like, all right, I'm done. I hated it, but it's over. Or you can go down to the other end and go through the self-check where you're behind someone who's going, it won't work. I don't understand.
Excuse me, I misscanned.
Then that's where you have one
again.
person that comes
like
over every 5
50th
seconds and
time.
leans over you and taps on the screen, puts in their code, says, you're fine. Get out of here. I'm fine with it as long as there's a choice. So, I don't know.
I'm going with a thumbs down on this. I'm just not sure how it's really going to benefit anybody. And Brian, I think your analogy is pretty good there because there is a reason why I go to the people checkouts because sometimes I just don't feel like bagging up my 100 pieces of groceries.
Yeah, one at a time.
Yep.
Put it back in the bagging area.
Except I will tell you this, with the advent and introduction of self-checkouts, the skill of regular checkout people bagging your items has significantly gone downhill.
Oh, terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I often will get multiple bags with literally one item in it. And I'm like, really? You couldn't fit anything else in there?
I'm all for helping
Great.
people with mental handicaps. And oftentimes when we go to grocery stores that have people like that working, they do a better job than everyone else bagging groceries. But they also sometimes will have 2 things per bag or 3 things or 1 thing per bag. I mean, they separate them out oftentimes. I mean, it's way better. It's a lot more bags being used, but it's always better because
It is better.
Other than that, if someone else does it, it's like 500 pounds in one bag and nothing in the other bag, and you're like, this is gonna break.
Yeah, that is very true. I'm still going thumbs down on it. So, but one of the things you might be looking out for in the near future is Super Cat, because apparently there is a cat covered in toxic chemicals that is now terrorizing Japan, and I can only imagine that this cat is the size of Godzilla by this point.
Oh.
I mean, that's all.
hope
That's
it
how you get
is.
superpowers, right? You roll around in some toxic waste and gain superpowers.
Is it as
There's one
big as
thing I
Godzilla?
know
Really?
about superheroes.
広島県福山市
I definitely can't understand that. Are they gonna show us the cat?
Yeah. It's down
He's
in
gonna
the
stick his
sewers.
head down there and get his head bit off.
I was gonna say he might lose his head there.
Where's it at? Where's the cat at? If it's that
It is-
big, how come they're looking down? Uh-oh.
That must have been right away, like immediately. It's still growing.
It's still growing.
I mean, that's what I'm imagining.
I mean, that black blur a second ago was
Oh
terrifying.
man, its tail and footprints were melting the sidewalk.
What did it get into?
Toxic waste.
So apparently the cat took a dip in hexavalent chromium, which is super super bad.
That's one of those that's toxic, so you wouldn't want to
Yes.
eat it.
Definitely not edible.
I want you guys to know that I talked to an actual dietitian that works for me, and I told her that I told you guys that if it's not toxic, it's edible.
Yeah.
And she said, well, lots of things are edible that you shouldn't eat. This is
Yeah,
from
what
a
is-
dietitian.
So what do they know?
And I said, yes, but she just laughed. You can swallow a lot of things you shouldn't. And I said, well, okay, that's a good point. It's a fair point.
Well, yeah.
So I did-
Anyway, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So this cat, apparently the Japanese Environmental Conservation Division has put out a statement saying if you do see a cat that may or may not look like the Godzilla, please don't touch it.
Yeah, if I saw a cat that was the size of Godzilla, definitely touching that cat.
We would,
I think-
if the cat was the size of Godzilla, we would all be like little pieces of food in a cat food bowl, wouldn't we? We'd be about that size.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Who's that guy?
Uh,
No, I know
Gene
who it is.
Wilder.
Yeah, I know who it is.
Yeah, I feel like Japan could have really leaned into
gonna
this story
say-
and been like, "Hey, we want King Kong to come and help us," or something like that.
I say
Like-
thumbs down. I say thumbs
I'm
down
going
because
thumbs up on this one.
no, I say thumbs down because they could have presented it like Godzilla, but then they showed the little
That's fair.
cat running on the video. They should have shown a cat like
A mini
bigger than a
Godzilla.
village, yeah, and then said it got toxic chemicals. If you see this cat, let us know. That would be amazing. Then that'd be like
Let
2
us know,
thumbs
and we'll
up.
call up King Kong. We'll call up Gundam.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm going with you, Brian. I'm switching mine to a thumbs down actually because they didn't do that. That's totally fair. Well, maybe the cat was fell into some toxic chemicals because it was trying to retrieve a Millennium Falcon 5p coin, which apparently is going to be coming out, or a 50p coin that's going to be coming out from the Royal Mint. I'm assuming this is something you put in here.
Yeah, I put that in there.
With the blast shield down, I can't even see. How am I supposed to
damn it.
fight?
Millennium Falcon, baby.
England's gonna have a Millennium Falcon coin.
Yeah, because
Yep.
you know how the UK and the British government are super solidified with the Millennium Falcon and Star Wars. Whenever I think Star Wars, I think the Imperial Army, and then I think of the British Imperial Army, and then I think, man, I wish that there was a Millennium Falcon on the money over there.
That was a stretch.
I can't be the only one. Obviously not.
Wait, are you saying that the Millennium Falcon is part of the Empire?
It's fighting the Empire by funding the citizens, the tourists.
So,
Okay.
what would your
The
what would your
cabbies.
what your buddies in England think about that?
Literally no
Wales.
idea. I will message them right now.
Please
They
do.
are just waking up for the day, so they're probably not going to get back to us. You know what? I'll message them later.
I'm gonna say this is a really stupid thing and say thumbs down. Although it would be a really cool thing if I were like buying something at George Lucas's ranch or something, and I had a whole bunch of these Millennium Falcon coins to pay him with. I mean, that might be kind of a cool thing.
Me-
but
That's
other than that,
my question is: how much money is George Lucas making off of this coin? If this is a 50p coin,
Nothing.
like
He
does
sold
he
it.
get? Okay, how much does Disney make
it is.
off of this 50p coin?
A lot. Well, what they did was they sold them. Like, this is the way that they would license something like this out: is they would sell them the right to put that on the money itself, so it wouldn't be per coin. Well, it might be per coin that they print. They might have a limited number of coins.
You
that they can
owe
print.
us 40p for every coin you print.
But like the existence of that coin, I don't know if it's like the collector's dollars that we have here in the U.S. or if they're actually just putting it into circulation. Did anyone read this?
Yeah, but
okay, so this is
But
this
the
is a
collector's
P coin.
dollars aren't.
What if
but
it
the
were a
collector's
Q
dollars
coin or an
aren't
R coin or an S or a T coin?
like there's something that the government developed. Like it isn't buying a piece of memorabilia, is it?
You sure it's not a
Yes
collector's
and no,
coin
it's
like you
both,
buy
right?
on
Like-
TV in the middle of the night?
Well, I mean, it's not something that is like owned by another entity though. Like
Oh
like the
no,
state
Star Wars.
coin-
I
the
don't
state
think Star Wars
quarters
is
or
going
something.
to. Oh, wait, is there a copyright and trademark? Lucasfilm.
Yeah,
Limited
it
is
says
copyright and
Lucasfilm
trademark.
Limited on there.
Amazing. I have no idea. Is it something that people are going to spend, or is it just a collector's thing? I hope that they just put it. I hope that they're like, the Queen passed. Her face can't be on the money anymore. And King Charles was like, nah, I don't want to pose for a 50p coin. What if we got the Millennium Falcon? Because I've always loved that. Instead of
it's
my
stupid.
face, what if
Thumbs
it's
down.
the Millennium Falcon? I hope that's what he did. My hat's off to him if he's like, I don't want my face on the money, That was my mom's thing. You know what? Instead, I would prefer the Millennium Falcon. That's really cool. What if we did that instead? What if we just brought back all
you
of
know
my
what?
childhood favorite memories and put it on the money? Wouldn't that be neat?
I wonder if you're right. I wonder if this is not actually going to go into circulation now that you say that.
Maybe it's a collector's coin.
Like, it looks like you can buy these on their whatever the Royal Mint's website.
Well, all right. If it's a collector's item, then thumbs up. If it's an
Well,
actual
and look,
coin,
there's
thumbs
a-
down.
There's an R2D2 C3PO
Yeah.
on another article. Yeah, it's got to be collector stuff. I mean,
Okay,
technically you spend
okay.
this money? Like you could go to
I mean,
a
I
store
would
and be
assume
like,
so. Yeah.
you could put it into a Pepsi machine and get a Coke out or something like that and use your Star Wars money.
Okay, so here I did find something on the BBC, and they did say that basically the coins are unique and special, and they are going to be worth more than what their face value is. But yes, technically you can in fact use these. It is real live money.
Amazing.
So you can spend it. Yeah, if somebody accidentally puts this in their pocket, like pops it into a Coke machine, and you're like, "Oops."
Oops.
All right, back to thumbs up.
Gonzo.
It's a
Let's
collector's
see.
item that can be spent.
Hey, Coke machine man. I accidentally dropped one of my coins in there.
So you said it's 50p.
Yeah, that's how
How
you
much is that?
buy it. It's like what, just over 50 cents.
Yeah.
What's a P?
okay. Pence.
50 pennies.
50
Pence?
Yeah, 50
Pence.
cents.
Yeah, 50 cents basically.
So it's a 50-cent piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have different.
Yeah,
they
actually,
have,
I'm gonna go thumbs down on this one because America doesn't really have 50-cent pieces, so
Yeah, you
that's
do.
dumb. Don't really have 50-cent pieces.
We do have 50-cent pieces.
what is it?
In the same sense that they have 50p pieces with Millennium Falcon on it.
Who's on the 50-cent piece? Taft or?
I was just
or,
pulling that up. It looks like it's JFK.
JFK.
Well, these are.
Oh, yeah, he was
the
the president.
Kennedy $50. I mean, nobody actually uses 50-cent pieces.
I use them every day. Well, I mean, not as currency.
Ask not what the 50-cent piece is, but ask what your country can do to send you a 50-cent piece.
We saw somebody making a floor out of pennies.
I had a friend who did that,
They
were 1
did-
pence pieces because it was in the UK, so it wasn't.
They
actually
used
pennies.
old pennies and new pennies to create the pattern, like tarnished pennies and new shiny pennies, and then
Did they have any like
covered it with like a polyurethane kind of like.
green pennies?
Well, I just saw them just laying out these pennies one by one by one. They're just crazy. The floor, that's probably the cheapest flooring you could find.
Huh. Apparently, I did not know this, but apparently $50 are mainly used in casinos.
In the US?
Yeah. No, they use 50-cent coins in Europe.
European
Well,
casinos.
I thought you were talking about the 50p coins that we're talking about right now, and I was going to say they seem to be mostly, in my experience, used in taxi cabs.
In fact, you're not even allowed to use the euro in European casinos. You have to use American 50-cent pieces.
We don't want-
Gambling is so American that you have to use American money no matter where you do it.
Mhm. It's a law.
Oh man.
It's a world law.
It's a
Oh,
it's
that's
a universal law.
All right. Well, I think with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to our billionaire pitches for the week. Who wants to kick us off here tonight?
I would like a backpack that when you travel transcontinental and you're flying over the ocean and your plane goes down, and when the backpack gets wet, I want it to like turn into this like impenetrable waterproof ball that will raise up out of the ocean, and then people will be able to find where the plane went down because of your backpack.
Are you inside of it safe, or like you are on the
No,
outside?
no, you're gone. The plane's trashed and it's at the bottom of the ocean. You're dead. Everyone's dead. But the backpack has raised
Actually,
up to now like, oh, what's that? It's not giant. I mean, but it's floating. And so then later
It's
we
just
find
the
it.
size of a backpack.
Yeah, it's just the size of the backpack. So it's floating now at the top of the surface of the ocean.
Find that in the ocean waves.
I'm not solving all the problems
Actually-
tonight.
I'm imagining it's a backpack and it
beacon.
actually doesn't. It actually encapsulates you, so you are on the inside and you float up to the surface, but it seals itself so it doesn't sink, and you just suffocate to death.
That's great.
You know what?
With that addition, no.
I will add like a
Death ball.
GPS tracker and like a beacon type of thing. So when it turns into this ball and it goes up, now it's got like it's sending a signal and it's letting people know where it popped up at, and then it's like the black
I want
box.
it to have.
It's like
a
my
laser
own
light
personal
show.
black box. It just comes up, and then it just wherever it floats to, go look. It came up here, and then it floated 8,000 nautical miles over here, and we found it. Now we know right where the plane went down.
What are you gonna call it? Suck it.
I want to have it. I want to have it. Can it have a laser light show so that when the space station flies over top of it, it can see what's going on down there?
And this is the music that it's playing. That way, that way they know for sure that this is. Oh, that's the backpack.
Yeah, and wouldn't that be amazing?
That's perfect, Brian. I love it.
Nailed it. Brilliant idea. 2 thumbs up.
You wait. A couple of years, we'll see this on the market. People are like, I was there when it was created. It was conceptualized. I'll say,
All
I
right.
invented that. Just like, what's his face?
Al Gore in the internet.
I invented the internet. I thought about people should share ideas all over the world. Yeah, that's what that is.
That's cute.
I got a pitch. I want a billionaire to put the Millennium Falcon on our 50-cent piece. And then we can have Millennium Falcon offs and see whose a Millennium Falcon is better, the Americans or the British. It'll rival the Revolutionary War.
Wasn't everyone in Star Wars British using an American accents in space where it doesn't matter?
No, they were using British accents.
Were they?
I mean, that's because in an alternate
James Earl
history,
Jones
Britain
was
took
using a
over the
British
world.
accent.
James Earl Jones is British.
Using a British accent.
No, he's American, but he was... No, I don't know now.
He ran his voice through an AI box that changed it into a British accent.
He actually sounds like this. This is his normal voice. I do a pretty good James Earl Jones without the voice modulator on.
If only you had been James Earl Jones doing Darth Vader with that voice. Hey, everybody!
Hey, everybody.
These are...
Luke, I'm your father.
Oh, jeez.
That would be terrible.
Sure. I put the Millennium Falcon on our 50-cent piece. Maybe people will use it then. I don't know.
No, then the collector's item. Then they need to sit in there.
It 100% would become another collector's item.
No, but that's the catch. I want it to not be a collector's item. I just want it to replace. I want it to be in addition to a president's head. I want it to
Like
also be
flying
shaped
over
like the
him?
Millennium Falcon.
Oh, you should have it just as the Millennium Falcon is flying over JFK's head.
I want it to be shaped like the Millennium Falcon. Also, that's the other piece that I want.
Oh, the coin will be shaped like the Millennium Falcon. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Perfect. Thumbs up then because of that.
Yes. Nailed it.
It's kind of like, it kind of reminds me of like, some of those like weird CDs that you would buy that weren't full circles. They had like, they were like cut away or something like that. So it looked really weird, and people are like, oh, how does that even work?
You're like, you have no idea how CD works, do you? And I'm like, yeah, no. I
Yes.
don't.
Just like
That's
that.
hilarious.
All right. Well, my pitch, I came up with one, is I want a
Good for you.
couch
Mm-hmm.
that has the ability to protect itself, self-defense, against cats scratching it. And I'm imagining it has like the ability to have a shield that pops up. Like if a cat jumps on it and is like, "Hey, I'm gonna scratch on you," the couch is either like, "Nope, you can't. Here's a shield," or it just like boots
With the
it right
blast
off the
shield
couch.
down, I can't even see.
Yes.
How am I supposed to fight?
Just like that.
What's that McLaughlin
That's what I
chick
want.
that sings all those songs about protecting animals? I don't think she'd like this very much. What's he going to do to the cat?
It'll just prevent it from scratching.
In what violent way?
No violent way.
Oh, okay.
I like
maybe
it.
it'll.
A cat elimination
know.
couch. I love it.
I'm gonna
We're
call
watching,
it the cat
I like it.
eliminator.
I
we were
like it.
watching, we were watching Kunk on Earth, and she's like, yeah, so our ancient ancestors, thousands and thousands of years ago, started to find animals that they liked and domesticated them, and that's how we got the dog for companionship, and the cats for whatever we have cats for.
For whatever we have cats for.
For whatever we have cats
great.
for.
All right. Well, with that, any other pitches for tonight? I'm going to call this council meeting adjourned. As we do call this, I don't know, the CouncilCast. We play it live on Tuesday nights on YouTube. If you want to check out any of the past episodes, you can go to councilcast.org or search for us on your favorite podcatcher. If you have a topic you would like the council's decision on, you can email us at councilcast.org. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.
Goodbye.